your early work was on the space shuttle, and you were opposed to the space shuttle in many ways. We're sort of entering a new era of post-space shuttle American space policy, and there's other space policies around the world. What are your views on that?
Yeah, if you take a look at the space shuttle, which goes back almost 50 years in its initial conceptions, the idea was at the time that we were going to build a space shuttle. It was going to take us to a space station. The space station would then be the launching point to go to Mars. And that was called the next logical steps.
Right.
Space shuttle was step one. The problem was that the US Congress never bought into that bigger, broader vision. And NASA thought they could force them to politically. And we got in a situation where NASA's planning was focused on the ambitions that it had, not the budget that was available. So there is a lot of talk now about a space program, publicly funded, that would return to the moon, maybe go to Mars. And I think the lesson that we should take really, with the space station program and the space shuttle program, even going back to Apollo, is to design your technology and your program based on your expected budget. NASA gets an enormous amount of money, $20 billion a year. If they say going to Mars is going to be $100 billion a year, it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
So we're smart and clever. And so if they can fit a mission objective into a realistic budget and then proceed from there, that should be the lesson that we take from the space shuttle and space station, which I mean, honestly, haven't built us going anywhere. We need new technology and so on. One of the things we learned in the Apollo program was the sequential step-by-step learning as we go and building on what we had before. So, I mean, really, the future of space policy should be more like Apollo and less like shuttle and station, in my view.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was just reading a couple of books on management policy that emerged from the space program initially. And it's astounding the way that they completely changed the way that the whole things were structured just to speed up and meet deadlines and so on. Yeah. I'm probably the only 23-year-old that gets excited about management theory. But it was really interesting to look into the Apollo program, how it was structured.
Well, there's some crazy wild cards with the Uber billionaires out there, Jeff Bezos, SpaceX. So where that goes and how that helps to transform what has traditionally only been public. And then there's, the Indian government, the Russians to some degree, China especially. It's not inconceivable we'd see a new space race to Mars in coming decades as these countries develop the wealth and technological capacity to allow them to do that. So I do think the future for space exploration is probably pretty bright this century. Got a few hurdles in the short term we got to get over before we get there, though.